Chapter 19, Ginger and the Plan. I feel sick. I am about to explain to the flight lieutenant my plan. First, though, I have to leave the room. I am feeling so sick. It has been slowly growing on me since I left the craft. Now, it is built to a level where I feel hot, exhausted, and I am swaying. Not forgetting the nausea. I leave the room, but I do not have the strength to go further than to just fall on the floor, huddled up, breathing in, breathing out. I am like this for a number of minutes. Eventually it passes. I feel that I can go back in, though I notice that over an hour has passed. I am asked whether or not I am okay. I nod, and he asks me to continue. I tell him the plan. The flight lieutenant looks at me as if I've seriously let him down, as if I've just suggested that we all go into the freezing cold. And I focus on this for a while. The cold will freeze the liquid that surrounds our brain, expanding it. That this frozen liquid will then crush the brain, reducing it to a pulp, and explode the skull, allowing the brain and frozen juice to fall out. But the only way we would have to be able to put it back into our heads is to go back inside, let everything fall. Then, once it's thawed, to carefully place the now crushed brain back inside the head, start to rebuild the skull, allowing enough of a gap to pour in the juice using a Toby jug, before finally sealing the head. Then, due to the fact that the juice may leak out of any holes left, a bag will need to be placed around the head. It will need to be clear somehow. This will then serve two functions. A, it allows space for the brain juices to freeze and expand. B, will act as a container if the head shatters again. Had I said that aloud, though, I would not be considered lacking in any sense, but criticised for lacking imagination. There are so many possibilities there that I simply did not take advantage of. Like, the brain could be crushed, flattened like a pancake, that the only way to get it into the head would be to pour syrup on it, or, as I prefer, sugar and lemon, and to digest it. But why say syrup when you could say tears of a crying clown? Why eat it when you could shove it up your rectum or slit your stomach, allowing the digestive juices to flow out, digesting it so that when you come to consume it, all the hard work has been done for you. And due to the hole in your stomach, you could eat it again and again. What shape would the slit be? A simple slice? Star-shaped? Jumper-shaped? Musically shaped? How? But Flighty looks at me as if I'm a disappointment, when all I have done is to explain my idea to him. It's based around the most sensible thing that we can do, even if it does mean great danger for the individual. You must be mad. No, sir, not mad, but brave. Jolly darn well brave, sir. But I mean, are you sure? The flight lieutenant still thinks that I am mad. The idea has some kind of romanticism to it, which I know will attract him to it. The dashing hero, facing up to the incredible odds. Errol Flynn will no doubt play me in his next picture. Very sure, sir. And I'm very sure that if I go tomorrow morning, then I can be back by tea time. The speed that thing can go, I'd be back by lunchtime. The flight lieutenant is still looking at me, his eyes going cross-eyed. He's that certain that I'm going to do something like pick up a pencil and stick it in my ear. But why? Well, why not, sir? If we want to get rid of them, it's the only plan that we've got, and quite frankly, the only chance that we've barely got as well. But, you must be mad! I'm right, though. It is the only plan that we've got. We have to act quickly. We cannot risk another alien invasion. There will be more next time. I just had the element of surprise this time, and it's that which we need to keep if we are to stand a chance. The flight lieutenant asks to hear the plan one more time, as a kind of safety net. Reassure him that everything would be all right. Sir, I have faith in myself that, now that we have it, I can use the alien craft to fly into outer space, to wherever it is that they are based, the moon or somewhere, and getting them to leave from there. And how exactly were you planning to get them to leave? Says the flight lieutenant, picking out the most obvious problem. Also, picking out a pencil from my ear. I shrug my shoulders. Hopefully, I'll just need to ask them politely. I have this grand vision. I fly up through the depths of space. They are on Mars. I get out of the craft thing. They invite me in, offer me their Mars foods. They taste mighty damn fine. They ask why I have come up there. I say that it's mighty darn inconvenient that they are blowing up our world. And would they stop that, please? And they apologize. And then they say they will stop. And then it's time for me to go. And just as I'm leaving, they pile stacks of Mars presents on me. And then I have saved the world. That's the easy version. The version that I would most like to see happen, where I come out as galactic diplomat extraordinaire. Yes, that's the part I don't like. What if they say no? Again, I shrug my shoulders. Then I may need to use a little bit of force. I need a bit of time to work out the plan properly. How much force? Well, I may have to kill one or two of them, maybe more, until they are persuaded. I have this grand vision. I fly up through the depths of space. They are on Mars. I get out of the craft thing, but they are shooting at me like mad. How do I survive this one? Well, it's easy. I hop back into my craft and, using the weapons on that, shoot everything in sight. Everything explodes, quite nicely, into 1,000 bits each. I stop to pick up some of the Martian delicacies, now that they won't be needing them, and return home. A galactic adventurer, hero extraordinaire! That's the more exciting version, though more dangerous and certainly less luxurious. That's the part I do like, sort of. But just make sure that you have enough weapons and bombs to make sure that you're okay and alive. Okay, and then when they've gone, I can come back. I can only smile. Things are going my way. Well, that may be the only plan that we've got, but it could be extremely dangerous. Besides, I'm going to have to get permission from the PM first. But you're the best pilot that we've got, and the best craft. Are you sure? But old Bessie's ruined now, sir, I protest. Not your aircraft, the alien craft. And if we lose either, or even both, then we are in serious trouble. There is a terribly big risk here. I don't understand what he means now, but I find myself saying, but I'm the only person who knows how to fly the craft. You can teach others. 20 minutes, and I'm sure they'll have all the practice they need. But we also need the best pilot we can get. It flies at speeds never even imagined by humans. I'm your only chance. I'll leave tomorrow at 1000 hours. He sighs. Very well then. But report an hour before that. That means he wants me here at 9. What? I want to make sure that you are well prepared. As our best pilot, I care for you a lot. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It's a very dangerous mission. Oh, really, sir? How bad can it be? And now I see colours. Pretty colours and shapes. They are lovely. Warm but jagged. Bright but spontaneous. And I can't see them properly, as I now have my eyes shut. By the time I realise this, it's all pretty much over. But what I did see is never to be seen again. As the flight lieutenant was speaking, the wall behind him started to grow outwards. It was like a belly that was being stuffed with more and more food, and the bulge just grew and grew. Then a spider came along and started to make a spider web across the bulge when it started not to grow so much. This spider web started to grow into a hole. The hole got bigger and bigger and was like a mouth opening that would let food in. But food was not going in. Instead, it was spitting outwards. It spat a lot and a lot. And then, from within the mouth, I could see the tongue. It just forked up and danced around and around, but it was angry. It danced violently and suddenly, but the anger came out and you could feel it was suddenly very warm. Yet, it was not the spitting. It was this warmth that pushed you back and made you sit on the floor and hide your eyes and your face. And then, in my eyes, I could see all kinds of pretty colours, though they were mostly oranges and reds at first, which seemed to flash. They slowly started to turn to yellow and become separate patches of colour. Then they turned green and grew even smaller. Then they were blue and smaller still. By the time they were purple, you could barely see them. And then I opened my eyes. And then the noise that sounded like distant laughter, but very loud laughter, and very slow laughter, that faded as well. That dangerous, says the flight lieutenant, who had managed to find cover under the table. I had to open my big mouth, didn't I? I say to myself, though I don't even realise it. I'm in a slight daze at the moment, my body and mind not connected, not giving each other guidance, not acknowledging either. My brain walks in one direction whilst my heart walks in another direction, and I am left standing here like a dummy without guidance. I'm saying things, doing things, but I know not what. I manage to walk a few paces in one direction and then another. My brain and my heart, both arcing round towards each other, pass, and I feel a moment of sense and clarity as I look around me. A big hole has been created in the ceiling, and in the floor beneath is a large hole. There is pretty much no wall. Debris has been thrown all over the place, and there are numerous fires. I get less connected as my two major organs continue on their circular journey. Nothing makes sense anymore. My whole life has been a joke, the expense at me. I am a laughing stock, and that serves to be my only function in life. My brain and heart finish their circular journey, ending up where they started off, pretty much where I am standing. They re-enter my body, having been knocked out during the commotion. Only one thing could have caused this much damage. I make a quick decision. Actually, sir, I think I'll leave tonight. The sooner we get rid of them, the better.